probably going to regret this eventually. Um, it's been a bit of an idea I've had for a while. Uh, I just wanted to sit down on a camera and take all my thoughts out, see what comes of it. I thought about sharing them online as I'm probably doing right now. I say probably because I'm not really sure if I'll upload this. I had another video I've previously made, and let's just say it wasn't very YouTube friendly. I said a lot of stuff I probably shouldn't have, and it's not that I care about monetization and all that. I'm not doing this for the money. I just no, I'm essentially venting, not entirely though. I'm just you can't tell I'm a bit uncomfortable doing this, not because I'm on camera or because I'm not using scripts, not doing any of that. I just want my pure, unadulterated thoughts. That's it. And I don't know. I really don't know what I'm doing anymore. I should probably start introducing myself, but it's not much to say. People barely ever get to know me, regardless. In fact, I'd say I'm probably one of the most hated people at my school. So, how did it start? Um, well, I guess it's because I didn't talk much during middle school. And people had different perceptions of me because of it. They saw me as a threat, hostile. I don't know how they saw me, but no one bothered to talk to me. Then I got to high school, and it I it didn't improve. It was exactly the same every single day. Felt just like clockwork. Just another machine. It's just another cog in the machine. Just day in, day out, doing the exact same thing. No change in routine at all. Had no friends, so I just couldn't do anything else. Stayed home, did I don't know, all I wanted to do. And yet I failed miserably. I tried writing my own comics because I always wanted to be a comic writer, and I realized I'm not very good at drawing. And that's not to say I'm terrible or not. I I can't draw anything very animated, very flowing. Just I don't know what I'm trying to say. I don't think I'm good at that, essentially. But story writing, I'd say I'm fine. I'm trying to do stuff that comes off the top of my mind. Things I don't think I've ever seen anyone attempt. Just um, I've had this one in my mind for a while. I'm trying to analyze the human mind in a way I haven't seen before. So I've read A Clockwork Orange. I've watched the movie. They're all great. And I thought, well, the mind of a psychopath. Well, that movie's about the mind of a psychopath, essentially. Not quite. There's a whole schmuck about society and all that. But that's what I care about, the mind of Alexander the Large. It's interesting seeing how you cannot redeem someone like that. Someone like him just cannot be redeemed. And having good imposed on them doesn't change anything. They're still just as bad. They're going to try to commit all the horribleness they ever thought themselves to. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Okay, I've said this a lot already. So my idea was, how about take a look inside someone completely unhinged, someone completely out of their mind, someone who does not care what others think. They have no concept of morality, and they have. I'm not familiar with the term. I forgot the term, but it's someone who does not have that like voice in your head that tells you to stop, or that thing that keeps you in check. You ever feel those things where you're like, say you're climbing up a flight of stairs and you think, well, what if I just jump? That's a thing. That's a voice in your head. Again, unfamiliar with the term, where it keeps you from going insane. I think I'm not an expert. I just know that essentially your that voice tells you to do something completely ridiculous, just to be like yeah, this is bad, don't do it, because you know it's bad. But does your body know it's bad? Because you, well, let's put it this way: your body does not know the concept of like laws or what's good and what's not good. You know, your body cannot tell you murder's bad, murder's good, because it doesn't know that's just an involuntary action. Well, it's not an involuntary action, but it's something you have to think about doing yourself, not really something like hunger where you're like, yeah, I have to eat. Your body's like, hey, feed me. You get what I'm trying to say? I I think I'm making myself clear, but I'm not too sure. I really hate my hair. It's just, it's awful. It gets in the way. I'm not sure how to style it. I just let it be, and things happen. Things talking a lot of nonsense. I mean, I know that's why I'm doing these whole these videos, because I just want to say my thoughts. But yeah, I say way too much that's just nonsense. But anyway, just ignore my hair. Just ignore it. It doesn't matter. I hate this. I can't deal with my hair. I hate it. Anyway, so yeah, that's one idea I had. Just have someone so unhinged they cannot tell right from wrong. They do not care if it is right or wrong. They just do whatever their instincts tell them. Sort of like an animal, I guess. You try to write a story about a person who's you cannot can't tell apart from animal. There we go. I'm gonna give up on trying to say that word. You probably know what word I'm trying to say. I can't pronounce it for whatever reason. I'm giving up. All right, that's fine. Moving on. Uh, what else? And no, I'm not cutting out all these pauses. There's gonna be a lot of long pauses. Excuse me, whenever I talk, I pause a lot, and there are times when I mumble, and then you can't understand me. I want to keep these videos as unedited as possible. I don't really want to edit, not because I'm lazy or I just don't want to do it. Um, I want my thoughts to be kept as they are, just like this. This is how I am, so this is how I'm gonna present myself to the world. I'm not sure how many people will watch this, and honestly, I do not care as long as one person does, because one of my biggest fears is being forgotten. And I know, and it's not so much that no one's going to remember me or any of that. It's that I would have lived this life and have contributed nothing to society, or just done nothing at all. And that's the way it seems to be going with me. So at least I want to make myself known before I die. And no, this isn't. I'm not saying it like this because I'm like suffering from a terminal illness. I'm gonna die in like 5 months. No, I'm probably gonna live I'm probably going to live to be 40, and that seems to be the average lifespan for our generation anyway. I I I want to do something about pollution. I hate it. It affects your memory and your ability to remember. That's what I heard. I learned from a class. I have this one class with so in school I'm in a program called Green Academy. It's basically you're basically learning about alternative energy sources and all that, more of an environmental friendly stuff, you know. And I have this one professor. He's just amazing. So there's Mr. Ratcliffe. He actually has a YouTube channel. So if you want to look him up, his name is Bruce. So Bruce Ratcliffe. He's a great guy. Um, he's old, so he has a lot of life experience, and he's been pretty great at teaching us all sorts of stuff that we just don't want to learn. For example, last week he was telling us about when he was in college studying physics, and he learned about um, equations and how to write them and how to solve them. It was really simple stuff. Just the way of writing it was strange. It was different. Um, it was something like, "What's okay?" So let's pose a problem right now. Okay, so a day is 24 hours. Well, okay. I'm bad at math. If you couldn't already tell, I don't think you could because I haven't said anything about math. Never mind. Okay. Um. Okay. So let's say you eat 3 meals a day. How many meals will you eat a week? Okay. So you take. I should probably be writing this down, but I don't have my pens anywhere, so I'm not doing that. You know what? Just skip this part if you're getting bored because I'm terrible at explaining stuff. So essentially, what you do is you write like say week, day, hours. Put this middle one in parentheses. Cross out week and week, and you end up with the answer being whatever. Uh, Again, terrible explaining this, but it's taking simple problems and writing them down in these like slightly confusing ways. Again, being a terrible teacher at explaining all of this. But I'm getting back to the point I was originally making. So he made us do a game. He write a problem. We go discuss it, write it down in our teams, usually groups of 3. Some people had more. We do that. Then he picks a person numbers 1 through however many were in that team. And and that person would go up, write the problem. He would then you have, as soon as you're done, you have to pick up a record. He had a few records on the ground with numbers on them. You have to get the lowest digit, and so there would be these like fights over them. It was silly, but it was enjoyable, and there was actually a point to that. I'll get to it in a bit. So he would come down and write out the answer. He'd then cross out any of the wrong ones, and regardless of if you got one of the lower records, you wouldn't actually win anything if you got it wrong. So eventually I actually got the hang of these fractions. He called them magic fractions. So again, I was terrible at explaining it, but if you were to hand me a piece of paper with one written down and told me to finish it, I'd be able to do it. Because the point of it, again, the fights and all that, we were having fun. And his entire charade is that if you have fun while learning, you learn things a lot better. And that's true. It is true. I've actually seen studies on that, and this is why Finland is probably the country with the best education system. Anyway, so yeah, his whole thing about having fun while learning, it did actually help me learn that. If I had learned that in geometry class, which is what I'm taking because I'm already finished, I'm done with algebra. I probably would have never learned that myself, and I've managed to learn it from him in about a week because he made it fun. It seemed pretty interesting. And then the whole pollution thing that I was getting at before, he taught us about that. It was fun. It was fun to learn about that because he made us do an experiment where we take a cup filled with Vaseline and place it outside for a few days, then bring it back, and with a microscope we'd have to look through it and see how much pollution there was to give us an idea of how polluted our homes were. And I've got to say I'm a bit worried. So he actually recommended us a mask that we should buy. That's good against pollution. I stayed after class that day. We were just talking about. I can't remember. All I know is that we eventually came to the conversation of the mask. Said that I should get one, and I told them I don't have the money for it, and if I were to ask my mom for it, I probably wouldn't. She probably would say no, despite the benefits, which is another thing that pisses me off about my mom. She doesn't seem to care. It seems like she wants to die already, which, if she wants to do that, I'm fine with that, as long as she doesn't put me at risk or my brothers. She just, whenever we're in a car driving through usually heavily polluted areas, which I'm familiar with at this point. There's this website called Purple Air, which I've checked out. It tells me which areas of my town are polluted, which ones are a lot better. And so when we drive past those places, I tell her that she shouldn't lower the windows because the pollution gets in, and it's not good for children. Like my two brothers, one of them is 4, pretty sure he's 4. The other one's 1. I was pretty convinced he was a newborn, but I'm pretty sure he's 1. Anyway, I told her about the risk. Doesn't pay attention. Doesn't care. Opens the windows. Lets all the pollution in. Even at home, I tell her to keep the doors closed, keep the windows closed. Doesn't care about that. Because my room is pretty polluted because every time I'm here and I breathe in, my nose hurts. It itches. It just doesn't feel right. But anyway, I told Professor Ratcliffe about that, and he said he'd buy me the mask, which he did. Bought me the mask. I have it now. It's over there. You can't see, but my bag is over there near my bass. And yeah, I play bass because I told you I wanted to do something with my life. I decided one day I'm gonna start a band, and I did. I found there was this guy in my class, that Green Academy thing. Yeah, I have 6 periods in total, and 4 of them are with one class. All a bunch of other kids who are also in Green Academy. So I have 4 periods with those people, those 30 other guys, and I guess we're like supposed to bond with each other. I haven't really. I mean, I do like having them around. I've known them a lot more than I've ever known anyone else. So it's kind of nice to have them. But I wouldn't say I'm friends with any of them. I talked to a few guys there. This is how I met my guitarist. Or actually, both of them. Yeah. So he said he wanted to be a rock star. Told him, hey, do you want to join my band? I'm starting a band. He's like, sure. He joined as a guitarist. Then he had his friend who I had a project with. We had to do these like spring-loaded cars for Mr. Ratcliffe, and we had fun actually. I remember it was kind of nice to talk to a guy and just messing around. We never really did anything spectacular with those cars. We just put a razor blade, cut the string, have the spring just throw them out. Didn't get far. We actually were probably the worst team, but I had fun, so that's all I really care about. Anyway, um, so the first guy I was talking about, I'm just gonna refer to him by his name. It's Christian. He um he he plays guitar, and I wanted to do guitar myself. I also wanted to sing, so I told him I'd just sing for now. And then we were one day decided to practice. We went to Mr. Ratcliffe's class. He had a few guitars there and amps, so we practiced with those for all of lunch. And he decided to introduce it to just one other guy decided to stay with us. Remember that partner I talked about, the spring-loaded cars? Yeah, he also played guitar. His name's Ethan. So he also played guitar. I brought up the band thing again, and at first I didn't want him to join us because I thought one guitarist was enough. But he's pretty cool, and um, he was a lot better than Christian. I'll say, not in skill. Christian's still the best, but what Ethan lacks in skill, which he doesn't lack a lot. He's really, really good. He makes up for it in creativity. He makes his own riffs. He knows what he's doing. Unlike Christian, who he said he's not creative at all and doesn't try to make anything. So he doesn't. I'm the one who's been songwriting and all that before. So I've got this book in my bag again. It's like this big, it's tiny. I write song lyrics in it. Uh, it's not great because I realize I'm not very good at that either. I tried making like whole stories, and it doesn't really sound well when you put it to music and all that. It uh, just excuse me for a moment. I'm I'm thinking this is just how I think I started doing all these random mannerisms, and I guess that explains all these allegations I've had. Um, the if you're wondering what that is, because of course you are. A few days ago, I was called into the administration, so that a few people complained about creepy behaviors of mine, creepy habits, all that. They said I was making people uncomfortable, and that I've been saying some not good stuff. And I'm just gonna say right now that I did nothing wrong in my own eyes. The things apparently I said were just things I normally talk about. Um, I'm comfortable with talking about a lot of stuff, just like literally anything. I don't mind it. Um, so I would normally just, if I'm in a conversation with someone, bring up just random stuff I think about, and that just so happened to be stuff about the, how do I put this? Murder, I guess, fantasies, other things like that nature. And they were fed up with my behavior. I usually, again, all these mannerisms I have. Also, one of them saw me using a pen to cut myself in class, and no, I'm fine. I'm not cutting myself because I'm depressed. I'm not cutting myself because I want to die. I cut myself because it's fun, and I don't do it with razor blades, anything like that. I usually take like small objects, usually nothing sharp, just kind of scratch. It's fine. Look, just take a look at my wrist. Fine. Not sure you can see that my lighting is absolute garbage. I put up my bed sheet, not my bed sheet, my blanket up there because if you look, that my camera's mirrored, so just ignore me. Um, that way, see the light coming in. Um, yeah, it's very sunny. It's not well. It's not sunny. It's just very bright outside. It's cloudy and all that. So there's a lot of light coming in. If I were to take this off, I realized that light's actually pretty good for recording. I turned the camera in that direction, just like 360. Sat there, the lighting looked really good on my face. Everything was bright and all that. But the thing is, my desk is facing the other direction. This one. So unless I flip my desk, I didn't really want to do that. Not only that, but there's my sister's bed's right there. Yes, I share a room with my sister because that's what my mom wants me to do. Not really adamant about it, but it gets annoying. Sometimes I can't do things like this. I've actually wanted to do this for a long time, but I'm usually not alone. So this is what you get. Anyway, so yeah, it was really good lighting, but I couldn't sit there. So I turned on my lamp. I tried to block out as much light as I could with that. I'm not happy about it. It's not great. It looks awful, but this is the best I could do. But anyway, in fact, now I think about it, my skin looks a bit orange or dark. I'm not really sure. I mean, I am sunburned because living here in California, it's sort of hard to avoid getting sunburned. But um, yeah, just not really my natural skin tone. I just look like this. Anyway, I've already forgotten what I was talking about before I went on that rant. But don't worry, you're just gonna have to get used to this. Something that happens a lot. And bringing us back to the talk of pollution and all that. Apparently, breathing in pollution slowly makes you forget, like you lose your memory and stuff like that. And it's not great. I not really a thing that I want, but I know I'm already losing it. I struggle to remember things. Uh, but anyway, Uh, I'm on limited time here because my mother and my sister and my youngest brother went out to I don't know where they went, honestly. But I'm home alone. Well, I'm not home alone. My other brother is here. He's just watching TV. It's crazy. That kid seems to be addicted. He cries if you don't give it. If my mother doesn't give him his phone, and if I ever want to use the TV to watch a movie or anything, he cries about that. I was trying to watch Spider-Man Far From Home because I want to watch No Way Home, and I haven't watched Far From Home, and I hadn't watched Endgame. So yesterday I finished watching Endgame, like the last 20 minutes of it, because I watched it in 4 parts, one after Infinity War came out. But I was like, you know what? Too tired for this. Skip. Time passed like a few months, I guess. Actually, years maybe. When did I watch Infinity War? I know I didn't watch it when it came out. I eventually did, but I don't remember when. Then I watched that little section of Endgame, like just up to the part with Hulk and Ant-Man having breakfast. Then I watched the rest a few weeks ago, and then I stopped at the fight with Thanos and his army. So that's where I stopped because my stepdad got back. So I just turned off the TV and went to my room. And then yesterday I finished the rest. And I'm not I would say spoiler warning and all that, but this movie's been out for a long time now. So yeah, Thanos dies. Whatever, get over it. In fact, I'm the one who've avoided spoilers for this long, and I'm sort of surprised about that. So anyway, I wanted to watch Far From Home. He didn't. He likes Spider-Man and all that, but he wanted to watch the animated show, and I would be fine with that if it was the original animated show. That's the one I liked. That's the one I grew up on slightly. I watched it a few times when I was young, but no, he wanted to watch this new one that I've never heard of, and it's not not the Ultimate Spider-Man. That one I also grew up on, and that one I watched a lot more. But yeah, I I didn't know what I couldn't find it, so he wanted to watch this other one. It's a lot newer. I've never watched it myself, and I didn't. So we got into a fight over it. He kept turning the TV off if I did anything. So I just went to my room, and he didn't even let me finish The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I really liked that movie so far, but I had to stop watching it because my brother wouldn't let me use the TV. And I have my own right there, but it doesn't have an internet browser. It doesn't have any apps other than these. And as you can see, yeah, that's all it has. So, I'm just going to spell it out. It's Pandora, Voodoo, Netflix, and YouTube. And I don't have a Netflix account or Voodoo account. Never actually used Pandora. I used Spotify a few times, but I haven't updated my playlist since I was 14. And so my tastes are just so vastly different. I still listen to a lot of stuff that was in that playlist, but yeah, my tastes have changed so much. I'm into metal now, which I sort of was um, when I made my playlist initially, but I didn't listen to it a lot. I listened to like Ozzy Osbourne, but I didn't get into like Black Sabbath, which is Ozzy's band from before he became a solo artist. And I didn't listen to Slipknot. I mean, I still don't quite. I listened to a few songs. And I also didn't listen to Cannibal Corpse. I knew about Cannibal Corpse. Someone told me about them. I heard them. They were amazing. But I'm like, you know what? Not really my cup of tea. Then a few weeks ago, when I went to a field trip, I decided, you know what? I really want to listen to that one Cannibal Corpse song, the very first one I heard. Which is it? YouTube, I don't care if you demonetize me or any of that sort of thing. I'm not even sure how that works. I've never uploaded to YouTube before. Or if I even will upload this. But it's called I Come Blood. and it's about a guy who killed a girl, dug out her corpse, and you can probably guess the rest. Pretty good song otherwise. You can't understand the vocals at all. It's death metal, and I really love the instrument. The drums are amazing. They're just insane. I can't hear the bass, but you can never hear the bass in any song really, and that's what I play now. I didn't want to play bass, but I already had two guitarists. We designated one of them to be lead, the other one rhythm, so I was stuck with bass. I could do drums, but I just couldn't find any, and I don't want to spend so much on it. I actually bought my bass off eBay with my Christmas money, and I spent it was $89. Not sure how much that is in pounds, euros, yen. I don't know. I'm trying to appeal to every all the. I'm not sure how many people will watch this, or if any people from other countries outside the U.S. will. Um, it's just kind of random chance. I don't know if anyone will ever find this video, and it sort of scares me. Not quite scares me because I know someone will eventually, but I just want someone to watch. I don't want to be talking to myself for 36 minutes as I'm counting right now. Anyway, it's been a thing I've been thinking of for a long time. I don't. Again, I've already mentioned this. Don't want to be forgotten, but I want to do something before I'm gone. So I just want one person to watch this. Just one. I'd be fine with that. Anyway, so I was talking about my band, right? Yeah. I got everything. I think I need. My bandmates, they had everything themselves, and that was kind of strange because I had to attempt to sing while we practiced because I didn't have anything else. I spent 2 weeks lollygagging about if I was going to get a bass or not. Eventually came around, got the bass. Then I got the strap way later, but I got it for $5 because of a sale going on at Sweetwater, which is pretty good. They also gave me free candy and a sticker and bubble wrap, which I love. I got my amp as well before the strap, and that was $120, and I spent pretty much all the money I had. I had $100. I asked my mom if I could get 20, just extra. I did. I have the amp now. It's fine. It's all right. I feel like sometimes the amp is the problem with my sound. Other times I know I'm the one messing up notes and all that. But hey, at least I can read notes, so that's a plus. I thought I never could. I just watched videos and I went like, yeah, it's the first song I ever learned. Smells Like Teen Spirit. Pretty simple song. I'm not sure what's wrong with my bass, but the top frets buzz a lot. So I don't really like playing that song all that much. One song I really like playing was Enter Sandman because it's basically just a lot of zeros. There's 0, 0, 0 on the E string and occasional ones. And also Master of Puppets, pretty good. Pretty good song. It's not that hard actually. I like the beginning part, just 10, 9, 8, like do 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 do. Wait, wrong song. That's For Whom the Bell Tolls. I cannot play that. I tried. My fingers just don't have that discipline. I go and I just mess up something every single time. But yeah, I might play bass one day for you guys or you. I'm not sure how many people are going to watch this, but yeah, I'm going to stop recording any minute now. I've been doing this for 40 minutes. I got 5 minutes left. If you're wondering why I'm using a cam recorder I found online, because my default camera only records 720p and this records 1080. Not sure if it looks that way. I see a lot of like fuzz around the screen, but I guess that's just normal. Maybe I'm not sure. I'll get a camera someday. The only camera I have right now is my mom's, which I use every now and then to take pictures for like album covers, which I tried, couldn't find any really good pictures, anything to photograph. So I just default to drawing something because I'm actually pretty good at drawing things that aren't people. Yeah, I told you I can't draw before, but I found that if I draw things that aren't human or draw a bunch of other stuff, it's I've it's a lot better. I'll show you maybe next upload. I Mr. Ratcliffe made us draw a cover for our notebooks, and I drew this really cool was a skeleton. Like half his body was like his legs still had flesh attached. He had his intestines like hanging out. There was a waterfall in the back, and I kind of just drew whatever came to mind like that. And I don't know. I feel like I did pretty well. I covered the entire page with that, and it feels good. In fact, he was like facing back this way. His neck was impaled with a. It was supposed to be a guitar, but I ended up writing a bass. Not because I played bass. I hadn't picked up my bass by that point, but I just didn't want to draw more than 4 strings. But I guess that's cool now since I play bass and I'm enjoying it. I just don't like how thick the strings are. I should have gotten lighter strings. I got 2 regular strings for the A and I believe, no, yeah, E, A and E, because the first one snapped and E snapped, and then A wasn't really sounding well, so I had that one replaced as well. I still have the others in case I ever need them. Uh, but yeah, the other 2 strings are heavy strings, so they're a lot harder to pull. But because they're a lot smaller, they feel just about the same. So now I'm wondering if I got lighter strings, what that would feel like. And I don't have a bass pick yet. I'm not really sure how to play with a pick. I've just done my thumb. And there's a few ways to do that. You can either do like this. You can just play like that, or you can do what's called palm muting. Put your hand to the other strings and just pull like this. With that, that's usually just for playing the E string, which is what most songs use. It's the easiest. But yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna mention one last thing. We are gonna we do have a gig, sort of. At school, we have a rally. I believe it's in February, and we're gonna be playing "Sweet Dreams" by the Marilyn Manson cover, and we're gonna be playing that. And we thought maybe 2 songs. I was thinking 3, but we're focusing on "Sweet Dreams" for now. If we manage to get that right, we'll do another song. I was thinking "Fade to Black" or "Nothing Else Matters." Maybe even "Creep" by Radiohead. I don't really listen to Radiohead all that much, but I like "Creep" mainly because of the allegations. It seems like that's pretty much how things went. But maybe that's why people made them. But, well, that's enough for today. Not even sure what day it is. I know it's Tuesday. I'm pretty sure. The date, I don't know. But it's November. That's all I can remember. Anyway, I'm mumbling too much. I'm just gonna turn this off now. Hope someone watches. Bye.